Previously, Encred attacks the traitor, disarming him in one go. He says that this is revenge for his friends. Encred puts his sword away and the guy stutters, asking if he's talking about revenge here. He gives a vicious smile and asks Encred how a weak ass like him survived till now. He must be cowering behind his teammates again. Ragna looks at the scene casually, and Kreis runs towards Encred, asking if he's fighting again. The traitor's teammate says that he'll die soon. An enemy pulls out a weapon attached to the chain and spins it. He boasts that nobody, not even a leader, can take them down when they are working together. A mere soldier like him doesn't have the right to face them. Ragna looks at the enemy and recognizes the weapon and stance they are currently holding. He thinks that they have learnt the murderous blades technique. It's a skill built through real-world experience. Those bastards have learnt the blade solely for the thrill of the kill. The traitor becomes serious and grabs his weapon. He asks Encred if he continued to harbor thoughts of revenge while he decided to live his life peacefully. He pulls out his needle-like sword and says that he would get a lordship in Aspen if they reign victorious in this battle. He'll climb so high that a nobody like him won't be able to touch him anymore. Encred listens to the traitor's murmuring and remains silent. The very next moment he asks emotionlessly if that's all he has to say. A simple insult from Encred gets the guy on edge, and he calls our protagonist a bastard. The traitor leaps from that place and says that he never liked that fricking gaze of his. He makes an ugly face as he charges with his sword. Encred easily reads the sword's trajectory and steps out of the way. He thinks that this traitor is using an eccentric, flexible sword, which is as sharp as a needle. He thinks this is similar to the Eastern QI sword. The traitor becomes serious and gets ready for the next attack. Encred also pulls out his sword and gets serious. He remembers the insult that this traitor threw at him in the past. The traitor told Encred that he won't be able to do anything even if he lets him live. The traitor dashes forward, and Encred takes a defensive stance. Encred remembers the moment when all his teammates were killed and were called weak maggots. The traitor says that this time he'll kill him for sure. The traitor manipulates the sword's trajectory with a fierce look in his eyes. Kreis grows terrified and tells his boss that he can't anticipate the sword's path. Encred ignores the warning and moves forward elegantly. He thinks that Ragna had already taught him how to fight the QI style. As the traitor goes for the attack, Encred quickly ducks under it. He thinks that the best way to counterattack is to put weight behind one's own moves. The traitor makes an ugly face at missing the shot and curses his fate. At the same moment, Encred becomes laser-focused and begins his counterattack. He thinks that it doesn't matter how strong the guys are who train with murderous blades. If they don't prune their actions, then they will be vulnerable. Ragna looks at the battle and says that the result was obvious from the start, as their leader already knew the counter. Encred attacks the traitor, slicing his belly in one go. The guy coughs up blood on the fatal damage and screams in agony. Encred says that he wants to correct what he just said. He's not important enough to make killing him his life's goal. Encred finishes his attack and cuts deep through his guts. This level of satisfaction in killing their rival is unparalleled here. Our protagonist has finally killed the traitor who ruthlessly killed his previous squad. He'll now no longer be haunted by his dreams. After defeating the traitor, Encred looks up in the sky to take in the moment. He thinks that he can't hear the answers of his dead comrades, but he hopes they would have enjoyed this sight. Suddenly, Ragna starts moving ahead, while dragging his sword sheath through the ground. He pulls out his sword and tells his squad leader that he did a good job. Encred looks at Ragna and wonders what he's up to now. Ragna takes the battle stance and says that he'll now stretch out his legs a bit too. The enemy still remains cocky after having one of their guys killed, and calls Ragna a kid. He proclaims that he won't be able to face them all alone. While the guy was trash-talking, Ragna quickly moved forward. He slices the guy in one swing, not letting him complete his words. The guy's head falls down in front of his teammates, and a sense of shock takes over them. Ragna casually looks at the dead enemy and asks if he said something. Kreis wonders if Ragna is being sarcastic here. How can a guy speak when he just beheaded him? The enemies get enraged by their comrade's death and charge forward. They call Ragna a bastard and tell him to die. Ragna adjusts his stance and easily dodges the first guy's attack. He beheads the first guy and then stabs the second guy in the head. He then kills the third guy as well. All of the enemies that Ragna just killed now showed an expression of surprise. Encred closely watches Ragna's swordplay and thinks that Ragna found an advantageous position in only a few steps. He ended them all with minimal, clean movements. He's once again impressed at how strong his squad is. Ragna kills all the guys, and his sword drips with blood. More guys rush at Ragna with their weapons and say they must attack him together. Ragna gets serious and tells Encred to pay close attention to him now. He says this is what he'll be learning next. Encred's eyes widen in anticipation, and he wonders what trick Ragna has up his sleeves. Ragna gets serious, and he takes an unusual attack stance. As the enemy charged forward, Ragna inhaled deeply. With a fierce look in his eyes, he goes for the attack. In just one single swoop, Ragna kills all 3 of the enemies at once. Encred looks at the scene and remains astonished. He thinks that he just saw a huge wall flash before his eyes. Ragna just displayed a dominating yet minimal swordplay that he had never seen before. After performing the attack, Ragna stands with pride. He wonders what name he should give to this technique. He looks back at Encred in style and says he'll call this technique sision. Encred stands there expressionless and tries to make sense of the name. The very next moment, he asks Ragna if that's what he's going to call it. The scene shifts to the other places where the battle is raging fiercely. An Aspen commander tells his soldiers to charge forward as the giants on their side. He orders them to take those fuckers down. On the other hand, the soldiers on Encred's side are having a tough time dealing with them. Suddenly, Auden shows up from behind with a fierce look in his eyes. Right after joining the front line, he wastes no time in attacking the enemy. With a single swoop of his attack, he throws the enemy back, breaking their weapons as well. The aftermath of Auden's attack is so powerful that he blows the enemy's helmets as well. The guys remain shocked, and fear creeps into their minds. Auden towers over the enemies with an intimidating body, and the enemy asks how come Norlia has a giant of their own.